What's up, everybody? We are here for another episode of Bring the Fire Podcast. We haven't done a podcast in a while, so we're excited to be sitting here. We got somebody very special from the East Coast. He took the time to hang out with us. Took the time to hang out with us today. You guys can probably see him on the screen already, but this is our boy Zak from Strictly Shisha. Welcome to the Bring the Fire Podcast, my brother.
Welcome, Zak.
Hot Atlanta.
Welcome, Zak.
It's such an honor to be here with you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. Well, thanks for, deciding to hang out with us for the next 30 minutes to an hour. I see you're banging your trifecta shirt there, and you got a pretty badass looking hookah. So,
Ooh, tell me about that hookah, Zak.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that hookah in a minute, that's for sure.
So tell us about yourself, man. What I know you do a lot of, your subscribers are going up every day. Strictly Shisha, that's you. You've been doing a lot of YouTubes from the Prometheus reviews to, bowls to the hoses. I've seen you, man, hanging poolside, smoking hookah. I've seen them all, or not all, but I've seen a lot of them. So tell us, how you got into, being a YouTube reviewer, and is Strictly Shisha your company, and, what exactly is Strictly Shisha, and what do you guys do?
So first of all, this is my first Google Hangouts, and it's with you guys, so that's pretty cool. Never been on here before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But I started Strictly Shisha in 2013. I love reading about hookah, the science behind it, different cultures. Not only smoking, because growing up I wasn't actually allowed to smoke hookah. So I just read as much as I could. I was on hookahpro.com in 2007 or something. I was always reading and learning, and I just love watching YouTube reviews. I watch YouTube reviews for everything. Whether it be any hobby I have, cooking, or, I don't know, just kind of shooting guns, so I watch YouTube for that. I'm always on YouTube. So I felt like making a channel and sharing my knowledge and interacting with people. So I started my channel in 2013, and here I am today. So I'm pretty much the main Strictly Shisha guy, but I like to bring on different guests. It's cool to watch you guys, too, when you do your mix and matchups, whatever you guys do, to see your different takes on the flavor, Like one of you may think one way, the other may think another way, and that's what I love to share with my subscribers. But my buddy Samir, he disagrees with me on everything. His style of smoking is different. So it's cool. I can be like, oh, this tastes like this. He'd be like, nah, you're dumb. It tastes like this, So that way my viewers can see how I think of things versus someone else might think of things.
Nice.
So I enjoy doing it. I love interacting with people, getting emails about questions, and I learned so much, especially from my viewers. Like, hey, did you try this with this particular product? And I'm like, no. They're like, try it. I'm like, okay, and I do it, and I get amazing results. So it's a two-way learning process with YouTube, and I really love that about it.
Nice. So what are you smoking out of? That's very unique. Explain what you're smoking out of, where it came from.
So I just got this hookah in. It is a Dashini Sniper. It's a very new model on the market right now. I have a mole catcher in here, and these are very popular in Germany. What they do is it's a glass chamber here that has water filled up in it, and actually catches the molasses and glycerin as it drips down, and usually tainted water at the bottom. This catches it in here, keeps your water really clean on the bottom. I'm smoking on this giant Twizzler-looking hose. It's very cool if you guys can see, with a Dashini tip, and I'm smoking a trifecta tobacco, and this is the Twist, one of his newer flavors, and I absolutely love it.
What's the twist?
It's like a cross between a watermelon and a lemon with mint in there. It's super refreshing, especially it's hot as crap where I am right now, smoking in the sunroom. I'm in the middle of moving, and I wanted to make time to hang out with you guys. So I'm in the middle of moving, so I'm actually home at my parents' house, and they're not going to let me smoke in the house, so I'm actually almost outside in the blazing heat, smoking out here, and sweating in the heat. But I really want to hang out with you guys. This meant more to me than being cool.
Man, that's right. You're living up to that Southern hospitality. Good love. You're showing us love. Southern hospitality.
What's the heat management system you're using, bro?
You know what this is. I actually put this on to dedicate to you guys. I was smoking with a MIG earlier today, and I know you guys love the Ignis, so I put this on for you guys, and I'm using the Goodfellow bowl.
Thank
so that's dedicated.
What kind of bowl is that, man? It looks like an alpaca.
It's a Goodfellow bowl. From 5-Star Hookah. It's one of my favorite bowls, well-rounded bowl.
Cool.
So I'm either using this or a Brandon George Stone bowl. I swap them in and out, but the Goodfellow for me is a very good all-around bowl.
Nice.
We're still trying to get our hands on a stone bowl. Hopefully with the next batch release, we'll be able to get one.
Dude, they're sick. I have a few, and I'm thankful that I know Brandon very well. And I did some of his first reviews of his culinary test batches. So I have a few, and they're amazing bowls. I mean, they really rip.
Nice.
Nice.
But I'm so clumsy, I'm always dropping them. So that for me, they're like on the shelf. And I probably go through a Goodfella at least every month. I'm always dropping them. We're not paying attention. So this is my
What are you
bowl.
smoking in there? Why are you dropping stuff? What are you smoking in there, bro?
Hey, it packs a buzz sometimes.
Okay. For sure. I believe you.
I'm probably the most clumsy person on YouTube. I mean, I got videos where like I was in the middle of shooting, and all of a sudden I'll like pull over the hookah, and I'm like, damn it, like reaching this shit because I messed up. I'm so clumsy. So.
Nice.
If they could just make a hookah out of silicone, that would be dedicated to me, you know, like an unbreakable hookah.
The unbreakable hookah.
I noticed that the hose is pretty wide in diameter. That's freaking huge, is it? Is it not, or is it just the camera?
I'm sorry, repeat what you said.
Gotta talk into it, bro.
The hose is pretty wide in diameter. Is that a standard hose or?
Actually, with German hookahs, in my experience with all the ones that I have, the down stems are like this. I mean, they're huge,
Yeah.
like twice a cam almost. So the hose itself is pretty wide gauge, but you get a lot of your restriction coming from the handle itself. So I find this hose actually to be more restricted than a D hose or a better hose.
Oh wow.
So this is actually quite restricted. So maybe camera's playing illusions, but it's actually quite fine.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
So
What do you guys remind me again, please?
I got a D hose. Smoke out a KM. Oh, I'm sorry, Starbuzz. Hookah.
we tried to fit the hookahs in here, but it didn't work.
It wasn't working.
Because I got you guys, so it works out.
So Zach, what's your background? What else do you do besides doing YouTube?
So I actually went to Georgia State, which is a local school in Georgia, for biology and chemistry. My mom is a dentist, so I was following her footsteps and realized that I didn't like it at all. So I decided to go into business, like entrepreneurs like you guys. So I'm actually in the middle of opening a ice cream, the Malaysian Thai rolled ice cream. You guys seen the videos on like Instagram and YouTube?
No, I
When they play
haven't.
with it, and then it's like a little trick, right? It's like they scoop it up like that. It's like a big old handle.
Well, it's basically an antique griddle, which is a frozen surface, and they put the unfrozen cream on top, like the milk, the sugar, the heavy cream, on the surface, and it freezes in front of you.
Oh,
And it's unflavored. And let's say you want a strawberry and a blueberry. I mix fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, and mash it all up on a flat surface, and then you roll the cream, and it actually comes into these tight rolls, and it's very cool looking.
What?
So it's a West Coast concept and Malaysian Thai, so I'm bringing that to Georgia. So I'm about 3 months from opening that up, and then I'm in the process of also opening a bar/hookah bar in the city too.
Wonderful.
Nice. Hey, congrats, man. Congrats.
Congrats.
Sounds like you got some big things coming up, Zach.
Now hookah's pretty big in Atlanta, right?
What's that?
Hookah's pretty big in Atlanta, right?
No, the hookah scene is whack in Atlanta. It's terrible.
Really?
I mean, there's 2 lounges I could stand smoking at, and I'm picky. Granted, I'm picky, but like only 2 lounges probably serve natural bowls in all of Atlanta.
Wow.
So every other hookah bar serves quick lights.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of quick lights.
Really?
My
And they don't
God.
care. Like, I went in there and I brought in coals. Like, hey, let me show you the difference and experience of using natural coals versus quick lights. And they're like, nah, these are the best coals. Like, the 3 Kings are the best. And I'm just like, no. And I'm talking about their patrons are like getting headaches and passing out, and this reeks in there, and they don't care.
That's why we're
They're just
getting on
stuck
a
on their
bad
way.
name. That's why hookah keeps getting a bad name. You need to talk to them, bro.
And even like, I went to one lounge and I explained to them very clearly, and I actually called Hayes up, and I was like, look, guys, they're serving Hayes in the worst, I mean, it's not even Maya, it's like the worst Chinese food I've ever seen, like rusted in front of you on the table, the dirtiest hose, 2 quick lights, and I'm smoking this, and I was like, I can't smoke this. Like, this is not good for me. I'm not enjoying it. I paid my tab after like 5 days and I walked out. And I called them, I was like, they're serving your product, and then look at that, looks terrible, it's smoking terrible, it makes you look bad, you know? If you're a first time like smoker and you go in there and you smoke haze, you're like, oh, I smoked hookah and it was haze, it's garbage, you know?
Yeah.
But I personally like haze, but in the wrong setup, I mean, it can smoke terrible, you know? And that's how Atlanta is. Everyone just like, my grandfather's been smoking in whatever country for 35 years or whatever, I know best. And that's how the Atlanta market is. Everyone kind of thinks they know what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Gotcha. They need to watch your
I'm trying to change that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. So do you already have like a spot picked out? Do you have a layout in your mind of how you want it to look and everything, or?
The design, I'm not 100% sure on. I'm thankful I found an amazing spot in Atlanta. It's right on one of our main streets called Peachtree Street. And it's like a really big deal. It's where all the bars are, like the nightlife bars. And I found a really small space over there, but it's probably the most prime space in Atlanta that I've ever thought of. And I've been fighting for that space since January. And finally, it's available to me now for a price that I can afford. So I'm in the process of negotiating for that. So I'm not as far along as I would like. I would have liked to have it open by now. But the space is so prime, I'm not going to give up on that space.
Awesome.
So you said bar and hookah lounge. So you are going to have drinks at your hookah lounge?
Personally, I drink, so I like enjoying a cocktail while I smoke or things like that. And in Atlanta market, a lot of the people who smoke in Atlanta really like to drink. And the area that I'm in is a big drinking area, nightlife area. So I personally want to capitalize on both aspects of the drinking and hookah itself.
Nice.
So it's not going to be just bar. It's going to be more bar that serves hookah as well.
Awesome.
So you don't have to worry about that 18 and over law, pretty much.
Well,
I don't. That's one thing I was concerned about, but I'm only like 21 of it anyway, so I ain't really worried.
You gotta remember, those are the only ones that have money anyways. So 18-year-olds are broke, bro.
they're not hoes, but
You're right. People trying to share one hookah like for $15. No, thank you. Like I might drop some stacks in there, bro.
So if you don't mind me asking, Zach, how old are you?
I am
25. Nice.
Awesome. What made you decide to go from being in a dentist or following your mom's footsteps to business? What triggered that decision?
I've always been someone who's very practical in life, and I really believed in. And I explained to my girlfriend the other day, we had a long conversation, and it was like when she was growing up, she always wanted to do something that she loved and absolutely loved. And I find that there's a balance between doing something that you absolutely love and make a living that you can enjoy, right? I mean, like, if I'm doing something that doesn't pay any money, I'm not really going to be all that happy. So I believe in finding that balance. And although I really wanted to be an extraction orthodontist, I really wanted to do that, and the money was going to be good, I didn't want it to do as much as in the hookah industry. Like, this is really where my passion is. I think I'm kind of good at it. So I figured, let's put my hobby, my passion, and it'll show. You know what I mean? Like, if I was doing something I didn't really enjoy as much, I'm not going to be into it as much, I'm not going to work as hard. But because I absolutely love this, I'm sure that'll translate in the way I run my business. And that's how I think as well. A very balanced approach to my life.
Wonderful. And
so I took the risk, and now I'm going to the hookah industry somehow. Yeah, the ice cream thing was just an opportunity that I saw to start off smaller. I am young, so it's a project that I can handle right away, and I can jump on it while it's hot, and it's going to be hot in Atlanta. And, enjoy making some money off that. And I actually started working in restaurants when I was younger. So I have a little bit of culinary restaurant background. I bartended for a while. So that's something that I'm also interested in. So I'm going to start with that smaller project and then hopefully go into a huge bar scene, which is what I'm interested in too.
Wonderful.
So it's not actually like a franchise. It's like something you're starting yourself, calling it your own name and everything like that. So it can eventually be a franchise.
Yeah, I'm starting off all my own concept, basically, my own name, everything's starting from scratch, which it's pretty hard, but I'm willing to work hard to get there.
Nice. Is it going to be called Strictly Ice Cream or?
I wish. Everyone jokes about that. The working name is Where's the Scoop?
Nice.
Because there's actually no ice cream. There's not traditional ice cream. It's like a flat pattern that you roll. I'm working with Where's the Scoop.
Okay.
Nice. Cool, bro.
How'd you learn this method? Did you
just YouTube or what?
YouTube it, or how did you learn about this method of scooping ice cream?
It's like one of those videos on Instagram or Facebook that someone else had tagged and liked, and it's like recommended to me. And one late night, I was just like watching some videos, and I came up, and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty cool, And I'm like, wait, I should do this in Atlanta, and I have the best place in mind to do it. And I'm thankful I actually found a space in the plaza that I really like. And I'm just going to jump in and see what happens. I'm hoping for the best.
Wonderful.
Well, wish you the best, bro. Really do wish you the best because it really seems like you're self-driven, and I think that's what is going to attract that business to, you got this positive attitude, you got this positive energy, and I see some really good things happening for you, so congrats on that, man. Just, you're young, you got your whole life ahead of you, man. You know what I mean? And it's just like right now, even if, not to say, your ice cream thing is not going to work out. It's going to work out, but even to that, you got your next venture and then onto your next, and that's the thing. That's the key there. You're not just being stuck on one hand. You're like an octopus. It seems like you're going to stick your next leg out, and that's the way to be.
It's funny, I was actually watching one of your previous videos, and you guys are talking about how you're entrepreneurs and some projects have worked out and you guys moved on together on other projects. And you guys are talking about married life and your kids and how you balance work and everything. And I was talking about it, and I was just like, you know what? Like that particular day, I was very stressed out about what was going on in my life. And it was really cool to watch your video, really put in perspective, how everyone has a lot going on in their life and just how you guys manage it. It was really inspiring to me, actually. And I don't know if you guys meant it to be inspiring, but when I watched it, I was like, wow, if these guys can do it, I'm motivated to work hard now too. So I really like that video you put out.
Thank you. Sweet. So, when you were in high school and growing up and whatnot, did you have the idea to be an entrepreneur, or did you just, will you just get tired of medical school or trying to follow your mom's footsteps and you just like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur? Was that always in you, thinking of ways to make money when you're in high school or junior high?
To be honest, I actually, from very, very young, I wanted to follow my mom's footsteps. I was a kid, like right in the beginning, knew what I wanted to do, and I stuck with it for a very long time since I was very young. Like some people want to do this and this and this. I was the same way the whole time, and everyone was like, Zach, we don't see you doing that, Like we see you owning a business, like your personality, when even the people I work for and work with, like, no, we see you running your own spot. And I never believed them. I was like, no, this is what I've always wanted to do. This is a smart move for me. And one day I was just like, you know what? For me to get into dental school and pay for it, that amount of money I'm going to put into it, because I didn't have a high GPA, so I was going to get into a school that was very expensive, and a good name school, but it was very expensive. I was like, I can invest that money into my own project, and I can see, every ounce of effort that I put in, I'll see a direct correlation in terms of success. Hopefully, right? Yes. I write this table down, someone's going to enjoy somebody else, you don't necessarily see that. So my whole family's in business, and they're just like, we always saw you doing this, but you caught on a little late to the trick. I was like, okay, well, I'm here now, so let's do that. Let's make this happen together.
Great.
That's cool, man. So it sounds like you got a lot of the family support.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I said it seems like you have a lot of your family supporting you.
I think we're breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's an echo.
Wait for it. How's that? Is that good?
No. I think we gotta take a break. I'm gonna disconnect. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna give you a new link.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That sounds a lot much better. Much better. Much better.
Yeah, I can hear you guys much better now.
Cool, man. So where we left off, I said it sounds like you got a lot of your family support versus like your mom being angry at you not being an orthodontist, or was she like, let's do it? I like ice cream too.
In terms of the ice cream, everyone's super on board. I mean, they're really excited for it. I mean, every day they're sending me recipes and new links to new videos and stuff like that. My grandfather every day is like calling me like, hey, how's it going with it? Like, I see pictures and stuff. So the ice cream stuff they love. The hookah stuff, they're not 1,000% on board.
Yeah.
But I lived at home recently for a while, and they were there through the process of me doing videos and getting packages and seeing how excited I was for it and really carving out time in my life to make videos, and they realized how important it was to me. So although they don't support hookah, they support me in something that I'm interested in. So they would prefer I was doing something totally different, but because I'm doing this, they're like, you know what, we'll make it happen for them. Like, we'll support it.
That's cool, man. Okay. So are they? You said growing up you weren't allowed to smoke hookah. Is that just because of your family background, or what's up?
Yeah, my parents, when I was growing up, didn't want me to smoke. I started smoking. I don't smoke anything but hookah, but I started smoking hookah at probably 15, and then very heavily 16, 17. I started to grow up a little bit, and I was never able to smoke at home. So I bought my first hookah. Actually, my first hookah was a Chinese hookah that I bought with a fake ID. Wasn't supposed to buy it, obviously. I hid it in my car, and my mom saw it a few times, and she wasn't happy about it. And then even when I bought my first KM, I was always hiding it or smoking it at a friend's house or in parks when I wasn't supposed to. Things like that. I kid. And then one day, you know what? I brought them all out. I'm like, hey, this is 15 hookahs I've been hiding from you guys for so long under my bed, in closets. And they're like, this has been in your room the whole time? And I'm like, yeah, I've been hiding at this friend's house. I was like, this is my life. This is what I'm interested in, you know. And I taught him, you know, the first one I brought into my house funny was an old antique compact pipe. And a buddy of mine, his mom was actually throwing it away. They brought it from India or somewhere like many years ago, and they're throwing it away. And I brought it into my house, and I was like, isn't this a pretty decoration? And they're like, oh yeah, it's really cool. And so my family was like, no, like get that out of the house. And someone was like, oh, it's really cool. And then my grandma made a really funny statement. She was like, hey, this is really nice, but the one that's in the back of your seat right now, can I have that one instead? And I'm like, no. And she's like, yes, like I see it every day. Like you didn't hide it very well. So I brought them all in. These are my hookahs. Like this is from this country. And my grandpa was like, oh, that's Syrian. That's from Egypt. Like so I taught them, you know, the Brazilians do it this style, the Germans do it this style, and they saw that it wasn't just smoking the hookah. You know, there was a cultural aspect behind the hobby. And, you know, I get packages from other countries. I get one from Cyprus and all these places in Russia, and they're like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is, like, worldwide, and you're meeting a lot of, you know, people, like, talking to you and stuff. And, you know, it's bringing you closer to other people, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have a lot of amazing people around the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I met one of my really good friends lives in Puerto Rico. He's famous on Instagram. We call him a legend. His Instagram name is 78AMMU, and he has one of the most beautiful collections of hookahs I've ever seen. And we became really good friends through hookah. And now I've been to his house. I met his family, and I mean, every day we chat. You know, to the point where like he texted me, and I like don't reply back. He's like, "Are you alive?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm alive." You know, we're that close now, and hookah's really brought us together. You know, and even you guys, like I didn't know you guys 10 minutes ago, and now we're good friends. You know, this is great.
Now,
So they really saw that.
when you first started smoking a hookah, did they think it was for something else? Or did you have to explain, like, no, this is tobacco, it's molasses?
My mom still calls it paraphernalia.
There you go. That's what you were hiding in your trunk, so I'm thinking your mom was like, oh, my son's into the wacky tobacco. Oh, no.
Yeah, she's like, what are you really smoking in there? And I'm like, I don't smoke anything else. And to be honest, I'm really well versed in other things as well. And you wouldn't want to put it in a hookah. You're going to waste it, you know? Like, that's not my style, you know? And she's like, oh, okay, I kind of believe you, you know? So it's just something I just eased them onto, and now they just learn to respect it as they realize that I'm smoking tobacco, you know?
Yeah.
So they would rather me smoke nothing, but, you know, at least it's tobacco instead of something else.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're not smoking cigarettes, are you?
I do not, no.
What's your
No, I just strictly shisha.
Strictly Shisha. So just so you know, too, Zach,
That's right.
we didn't really introduce ourselves. You know me, Chemo. This is our boy JP, starting from the right, Hero, and V Diddy.
Vincent. Just call me Vincent. I'm fine with Vincent.
A little bit through years, like I said, so I feel like I know you guys a little bit better than, you know, even though we haven't really talked directly. I've seen, you know, your personalities through your videos and stuff, so I kind of know you guys.
All right, cool.
Cool, man. Well, that's what we've always said. That's what Hookah's all about, just merging everybody together. And we got 4 different races sitting here.
That's
you know,
why we're mixing and matching, bro.
mixing.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
You guys have done some crazy mixes, and I've actually tried them after I watched them, so.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
Especially the Honey Do Me and the Sexy Red or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I tried that one. That one's pretty good.
Okay,
Right?
awesome.
We're smoking Spice Me Red right now.
The first time I smoked this was actually at TBC last year, this past few months ago, at the Starbucks Lounge. And I was late for my flight, and I was sitting there hanging out, and I was like, you know what? This is not my cup of tea, but I'm ready. So let me try it here. And I actually really enjoyed it, so I picked some up.
So next year we got to hang out at TPE.
Were you guys there this year?
We were at the
Yeah,
TPE.
we were there. Were you at the Haze party?
I was. I didn't see you guys.
Oh, we were right there, bro. We're in the corner.
I was probably mashed in the corner somewhere.
We were in the corner.
We were matched in the corner. We found out it was an open bar.
I'm like, open bar? Are you serious? This is I can't behave with an open bar.
It was a good
Well,
time.
We're the loudest
all
ones
the
getting
guys
toasted.
went together, right? So you guys got to like hang out. Like that's really cool, right?
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
This year I went alone. Last year I went with my 2 buddies. So I mean, we had a blast. Last year it was like Haze Party, open bar, Get Smash, and then we went to Encore,
Yes.
or it was like Hyde or something at Bellagio, and I mean just smash like the whole night. It was amazing.
Nice. Nice. So next TPE, even if you go alone, you won't be alone, bro. You got us. You got us.
Well, party, like everyone, I always say we're really lucky, at least in my point of view, going to these shows. And you go to, like, you guys met Basilios
Yeah.
at the TPC.
Yeah.
And you see him, the man is just drained. He's been working so hard to set up the booth, create product to display. And we just show up in there and just like, hey, let me smoke your hookah, let me talk to you, let me, you know, and he's like, yeah, okay. Like everyone is so drained. And we just get to go in there and have fun, you know? So most people don't want to party with me, but if you guys want to party with me, I'm down.
Oh, yes.
To be real though, Basilios is always drained, man. He's a workaholic, bro. He's always working. Talk to him on the phone. He's just, I'm tired. But that guy has a lot of heart. That guy loves to give back to all of his employees. Man, that guy's a real inspirational dude.
And it's evident in his products. You can see, and I know, for example, I had one of the first Prometheus like versions of hookahs, right? And based off some of my feedback and things like that, he changed it instantly. And so now I have the version 2, so you can see how much hard work he puts into those. And it's funny, I actually watched your podcast when you guys spoke to him, and that was no video, right? It was just vocal.
It was auto, yes.
It's audio.
Yeah. So I was listening to that, and it was just interesting to hear him talk. And he sounded a little more upbeat in that video to him to explain, you know, how he merges the traditional hookah with, you know, the modern spaceship, as he mentioned. You know, and that's really cool that he did that. And I'm a big Prometheus fan. You know, I have 2. I smoke it like probably every other day. I mean, so you can really see the hard work that he's put into those hookahs, and I love them. And I mean, I stood by that hookah when it first came out. Everyone called it, you know, crazy science, and he was selling you on garbage. And I smoked it for what it was, and I was like, I love this hookah, you know? And the way it comes apart and the beefy threading, I mean, I'm not worried about that piece. That's something I'm going to have forever, and I'm going to love smoking it.
Yeah. True. Very, very true.
It seems like you're a guy, dude, that does a lot of research. It seems like you have that balance, sort of say, in life. I know when we were messaging the other day, you were like, all right, let me finish my workout. So it seems like you divide up your time pretty well. I need to start working out.
No. I'm an illusion. I have no time management skills. It's something I need to learn really quick, but I try. You know, I try. Thankfully, right now, I quit my job. Actually, the day before I left for TPC.
Nice.
So my day job, I'm not working anymore. It's more time now to do things like go to the gym and, you know, do reviews and things like that. But when I was working, it was just straight work. Like come home after work at like 12, maybe pack a bowl, maybe put on the smile for the video, try not to fall asleep. But I'm trying to learn better time management, especially with, I'm really close to my family. My girlfriend and I are moving in together in a week. So
congratulations.
You know, I gotta learn to balance my time better.
Don't do it. I'm just playing.
Is well, since you're talking about your girlfriend, is she the one?
We've been together for 8-9 years, so I hope so. It's been a long time.
Are you good?
You're pretty much married, bro. You should have moved in already.
I love her, so you know it works out. And she's supportive of everything. She doesn't really care to smoke hookah all that much, but you know she sees my passion as well. So she's, hey, if you need to come over and shoot a video because it's too loud at your house or something, like come over.
That's awesome.
And do it, stuff like that.
So she's very
She's
supportive.
really cool about it.
She's very supportive. She's very supportive. Is she
Like I said, she's not 100% for the hookah idea either, but you know what? She's like, you're good at it, and I want you to succeed in whatever you do, so if this is what it is, just go for it and jump right in, you know?
Is she going to help you manage your businesses too?
Well, so where I made the mistake was that I went to school for biology and chemistry. So I have a really strong science background, but I don't have the strongest business background. So she's really cool. So she's an accountant for PwC. So I'm over here like making spreadsheets and doing my business plans, and she's like, "Oh, have you done a break-even analysis?" And I'm like, "No." Wow, what's that? And she's like, "I'll just do it for you. Yours is ugly looking. Let me reformat your Excel document for you." And like we're buying the condo right now, right? So I'm buying all this like furniture and stuff. She's like, "Oh, have you put this in the spreadsheet of what you've been buying?" I'm like, "No." She's like, well, how are you going to budget? I'm like, in my head. She's like, no, that's not how things work in life. Let's write everything down. We're going to have all the. I'm like, okay. If you're going to teach me, I'm down. I'm always down to learn. But she keeps me checking that aspect.
That's good. That's wonderful. You need that balance. You need that yin and yang kind of thing.
Exactly. So are your wives supportive of you guys smoking and doing that stuff?
You want to start?
I'll start off. To be honest, my wife isn't. She's supportive to an extent. She doesn't like, obviously, the hookah, because she hears all the stuff out there and she listens to all the negatives and all that, but us that we do the actual research and do the, we look into it. We've been around it long enough to know what's in it, what's not in it, as far as the e-juices as well, so in mine, she supports me as far as the business aspect, but when it comes to hookah, not so much,
Okay, on that note, I have a question for you. When people ask you about hookah, particularly do you tell people it's healthy for you? Do you promote it? How do you explain it to people? I know how to explain it, but how do you explain it to people?
See, what I normally, when I do get asked the question, I don't say, well, it's I'm not going to say it's healthy. It's not going to, cleanse your lungs, you know what I mean? But it is a lot safer alternative to cigarettes, And obviously, you got your bunch of negatives, but you look at all the positives as well, as far as you don't have all the carcinogens, you don't have all the rat poisons and all the nonsense that your normal cigarettes have. I was like, so you got to look at that. You're actually smoking tobacco, real tobacco, and you're smoking molasses, which is, the added, flavoring. Pretty much you got maybe, 3 key ingredients. You could count them on one hand. I tell people that you could count these ingredients. Try to count the ingredients in a cigarette. It's like you're not going to find it. Or you're going to have a long list, a forever-ending list, and do a research that could go on for days,
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I tell people too. It's not healthy by any means, but it's just like any other life decision. Whether you choose to drink or you choose to eat pizza, it's a conscious decision that you have to make. And all you guys as well, I'm sure, you pick the most quality setup and ingredients in each individual perspective, so they can eliminate all the using, a silicone hose versus something with BPA, or using, a quality pipe, using natural holes, things like that, keeping your setup clean. That's what I tell people. And when they talk about, the Truth commercial says it's equivalent to 2,000 cigarettes or whatever, I explain it very simply. If you drink a gallon of water and a gallon of Coca-Cola, they're both a gallon. They're still equivalent, but the contents are different. That's how I explain to people. It's what you're smoking is different. So it may be equivalent to 2,000 cigarettes in smoke output, but the content is different. So no, it's not healthy. And people ask me no, I recommend you don't smoke hookah, but there's a lot of positives to it in terms of bringing people together. And my friends get together and there's no TV on. There's not a game on or something. And by the way, you guys watching the game? Who won? I don't even know.
We watched
the Cavs. The Cavs won.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm not a huge sports fan, but I was going for Golden State. So
Awesome.
I tell people
be nice. It's quality time between people, and you can talk and chat and get to know someone. Yeah. And you don't actually have that in a lot of other hobbies,
No, you don't.
I tell people sugar's not healthy for you either. Sugar's the worst drug in America. It kills people every day. You're not gonna stop smoking sugar. You're not gonna stop eating sugar, right?
I don't
Stop eating sugar. Sugar kills people every day. But yeah, my wife's totally supportive, man. She doesn't give a fuck. She just, are you making money? Cool. You're making money? Cool. You're not making money? I don't like it. Yeah.
She's also into finance.
Exactly. As long as you're paying the bills, you do what you want, right?
Yeah. Do whatever you want. As long as you bring home some bacon, you're fine. You're good.
Mine is, I would say, pretty supportive. She
was just smoking with us.
She was just smoking with us. We're at the headquarters here in my garage, but you're right, hitting kind of harsh.
Shit.
We got baby lungs over here. Baby lungs.
It's too much heat.
She sometimes she'll be like, "Man, you're smoking every day," and I truly don't smoke every day. It might be every other day or every 2-3 days because we aren't really trying to. Yeah, every other day.
Or twice in a day.
Or what I tell her, wink, it's every other day. But, we're making the videos. We're trying to stay on par with those. Just like you, man. I'm sure you built your subscriber base by being consistent. And that's one of the things I learned from VD or Vincent is we got to stay consistent. So I might not want to pack a bowl and smoke at midnight, but we did the other night.
We had until 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 in the morning, you know, but we had to get the content out. So it's just a matter of, oh, good.
The actual shooting of the video, I'm sure you guys, like, for example, I know for me, and I'm sure for you guys, before you do the video, you have to test out the flavor, right? You have to smoke it in different setups or whatever. You guys have to discuss it. It takes time to do those things, you know? So it's not just like every day you pop off a video. It's like it takes time to develop the thoughts and the content of the video. So I'm sure you guys put in a load of, I'm sure it's hard to balance, but you guys are doing it.
Figuring it out, man. And that's why I like that we get to learn from other YouTubers like yourself, because we get to see what you're talking about, what you're mixing, what you're smoking, and then we get to kind of mix and match it ourselves and figure out, oh, we like this hookah, we don't like this hookah, or whatever it may be. So, you know, thank you for doing what you're doing, because I'm sure you don't hear it enough, and we don't hear it enough, but it's like, keep doing what you're doing because you're influencing someone out there and they're learning from it. It's those little comments that you see like, thanks for that mix or thanks, blah, blah, blah. That just makes me like, damn, dude, I want to keep going because I helped that person, you know?
Right, nothing makes you feel better than the comments. Like, keep up the videos, I appreciate that, or that helped me learn something or do my setup better, you know? And that's what keeps me going, you know? Or even silly videos like the view count, you know? Like, if I see the view count is going up and I enjoy it, I know people are watching it, you know? It's not just me watching my videos 10 times over and over, you know? Or my friend who I make watch with me. It's people who are actually taking the time to watch me blabble for 10 minutes about, you know, something that I'm interested in. So that means a lot to me, and I'm sure you guys see your view count going up too. I saw the beginning when you guys first started, like how many views you have to your last video, and they're going up as well. You know, people are catching on and subscribing, right? And I'm sure it feels great, right?
Yeah.
All the time invested.
Yes, it does feel great.
Definitely a lot of time invested.
And just
way too much.
and just, you know, my wife, she's pretty supportive. She doesn't like me smoking every day. And, you know, she's like, man, you're at home, you're smoking, you're working, you're smoking. But, you know, it's becoming in a habit. I don't think I'm addicted because I can stop for a few days. But, you know, it's just a habit. When I'm working, when I'm doing something online, or I'm editing videos or whatever I'm doing, I just like to have a hookah in my hand because it just calms me down, relaxes me, and makes me think better. But yeah, she's pretty supportive. Like Gabe and Kareem and John, like as long as it brings home the money, my wife is 100% supportive. Yeah.
She does let him hang out until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So. Cool, man. So, what's next for Zak, man? I mean, what's your ethnicity, Zak? I know you shared it with me, but share it with everybody.
So to make this simple, my parents were born in East Africa, so I'm multi-generations African, but my ancestral line is actually India and Iran, and I am Muslim. So a lot of different cultures put together, and we've kind of meshed it together, my family, as, you know, our culture in general. So we speak Gujarati at home, which is more of an Indian language, and traditional East Africa for the Arab Africans. But we find ourselves mixing words from Swahili actually in there. And we never noticed acting with people. So for example, like when we say words like a plate, and I'll be at a friend's house and they might speak Gujarati or a very similar dialect, and I'll say something and they'll be like, what's that? You know? And I'm like, a plate. Like, you guys speak this language better than I do. They're like, no, it's not. I go home and I'm like, hey, well, I said this word over there and they didn't understand it. And they're like, that's because that's actually Swahili. And I'm like, well, then why do we speak Swahili, you know? So just the blending of the cultures is kind of what made me, you know?
Nice.
Were you born in the U.S. or were you born out there?
I was born in Augusta, Georgia. So I was born in the United States.
Augusta, Georgia.
My mom was in dental school in Augusta. I was born while she was at school one day. So I was born at the Augusta Hospital, and I've never been back. So,
have you ever made your way out here to California or no?
It's definitely on my list, and every year it kind of seems to be the same argument. It's like, do I want to go to TPC or do I want to go to Cali? And I really want to go to Cali so bad, but budget-wise, make that long trip out there, I kind of pick one or the other. I've been picking Vegas every year, but it's on my bucket list. I need to do it soon. Plenty of cool people out there like you guys, and I mean, so many vendors and brands that we talk to every day, right? I would love to go see them in person, meet them, see their factories, see their warehouses, etc. That would be mind-blowing for me to walk. For example, just to walk into 5starhookah.com, to walk in there and see their displays. I mean, I would go nuts. You know, it would just be very cool for me.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you got to definitely come hang out in Cali. You got to bring Samir with you, bro. Next time you go to TPE, you got to bring Samir.
So he really wanted to come this year, but it was his brother's bachelor party in Vegas 3 days later.
Oh.
And he also runs his own business, and he's like, Zach, I can't be away that long. I really want to go, but he's like, I just can't make it. It's not feasible for me to leave business that long. So this year, it's in January. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes.
So hopefully I can convince him to come this year and we can all hang out. Because Samir is the funny part to me. We're very much alike, but Samir, I think, is way funnier than I am. I'm a little more serious, and he's off the wall. I don't know if you guys watch any of the videos, but he always makes them fun. That's why I'm bringing it. I'll get the content, and he'll just spew out a bunch of random stuff and have fun.
That's cool, man. No, you're... How long have you known Samir?
Samir and I have been friends since, like, 3rd or 4th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have 2 main friends that I hang out with every single day. We talk all day long, but I have a close-knit group of friends. I'm not the person who has 1,000 friends. I have a few good friends who I'm very close to, and Samir is right-hand man, you know?
Very cool. Just
And
like
he's
us.
always supportive of the videos, especially late night when I'm not in the mood to do a video. I'm just drained. Samir's like, hey, I'll come over. I'll do a video with you, you know? As long as you pack me a good bowl, and, you know, he's like, I'll just help you out. You know, and I really appreciate that. And that's, especially in the past few weeks, I've kind of not lost my drive, but I need some motivation the past few weeks. And if you've seen with my channel, he's been in the past like 5 videos. Just because he's like, I'll come there and help you out. You know, it makes it easier for me. I'm sure with you guys, 2 of you or 3 of you talking together, we could bounce off of each other, you know, and play off each other's ideas versus me just trying to think in front of the camera by myself in a lonely room with my hookah, you know, all by myself.
Do you name your hookahs? Just curious.
I don't. Do you guys name hookahs?
No.
Nah. Some people do, though. Some people do. I'm just curious.
No, and I thankfully am blessed to have a pretty big collection, so I wouldn't even remember all their names.
How many hookahs do you own now?
I would say upwards of 30, maybe.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a nice
Yeah.
collection. That's a nice collection.
Or yeah, I'm very thankful to have them. I'm a hoarder when it comes to hookah. Even ones I don't particularly like or want to smoke anymore, I just can't get rid of them because they're associated with memories and times I've packed them and things like that. I love looking at them, and you know, like when my friend comes over and they're like, hey, like tell me about these hookahs, and I can literally say, this one's from this country and this is from this country, and look at the weld marks and how this is cast and this is, you know, made from a machine. It's just beautiful for me to look at, and I just can't get rid of them. And it sucks now that I'm moving to a house a 10th of the size, and my girlfriend's like, where is this going to go? And I'm like, I don't know, in the bathroom, in the closet, like anywhere I can fit them. She's like, no, 25 is the max. You get rid of the rest or something. So at least I can keep it.
Do you still have your Chinese
I
hookah?
was going to ask him that too.
Sadly, I do. I've gotten rid of some of the hookahs in the past, upgraded and sold them, but my first hookah, my girlfriend bought for me. And she wants me to keep it. So I have it in the closet, hiding somewhere, out of sight, so I can't be embarrassed by it, but I still have it.
But you know what? That's your story. You shouldn't be embarrassed, in my personal opinion, because it's your story. You went from a Chinese hookah to a German hookah. So it's your story. It's the journey. It's your journey. It's your journey. You can't get rid of the Chinese hookah, and you can't put it away. It's your journey. You got to put it in there and say, look, this is my very first hookah. Yes, it's embarrassing to smoke out of, but it is my first Chinese hookah. Now look at what I'm smoking now.
Yeah, and to be honest, I really don't have that much against the Chinese hookah. You know, if you're using a quality bowl and, you know, a quality hose, I can smoke out of a Chinese pipe as long as it's not rusted, but the likelihood of it being rusted is pretty high. Chinese make some decent stuff, honestly. I don't support the fakes, but, you know, some of their hookahs, they're not that bad. But don't tell anyone I said that.
If they listen to it, they'll probably know.
Make more hookahs for Zach. So, quick question, Zach. So all the hookahs that you do have, are you planning to have a particular setup at your lounge? Are you going to use only the Prometheus sort, for example, or you're gonna have an array of different hookahs for everybody to try,
or a bunch of KMs.
So I've been thinking about it, and I really want to stick to probably 2 brands. And you guys have the Starbuzz, and you guys love your Starbuzz, right?
Yes.
The Starbuzz for me is super well-rounded. I mean, it has a great draw. It's easy to maintain, and wholesale pricing, they're not that bad. So I probably will carry Starbuzz stems, and then I will do Shisha stems as well. But I've considered doing one of everything. I come in and you see it on the shelf or something. Hey, like, I want to smoke that. I've never smoked out of that one. May I try it? And I would be happy to pack that for a customer. But primarily, I'm probably going to go Shisha and Starbuzz.
Perfect.
Nice.
Do you guys like Shisha hookahs?
I haven't smoked out of a Shika yet.
No.
Did you guys go to the Shisha booth in TBC?
No.
I don't think so. I don't know. We
I don't
were
even-
all over the place.
I don't even.
I don't think
No,
we
that's
did.
probably me. I was actually probably at the Shisha booth most of the time. I was there with Shisha, so I was hanging out in the booth a lot of the time. So maybe that's why I didn't catch you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I think next year
But
we have to have like a list.
Sorry.
I know. I was saying this upcoming one, we have to have a list now because we went on blind faith. It was our first time going to the TPE. We just wanted to check it out, meet people, that we've seen on YouTube, and just walk around and meet and greet. So I think now we're kind of more aware of all the brands that are out there, all the different types of tobacco and all that. So I think we're more aware of what to expect and what we want to experience the next time that we go.
Who was like when you saw that person, like, did you have a starstruck moment for anyone in particular? Because I know I do every single person I see. I'm like, oh my God. You're like, Zach, we talk to you every day. Like, shut up. And I'm like, no, I'm seeing it in real life. Did you guys experience that at all?
I think for me, it was when I saw Jake from Starbuzz or, Hookah Rev.
Yeah.
Because like I had messaged him before or whatnot on Facebook and seen him and seen like some of the old Hookah Rev videos. But then when I actually saw him and just, shook his hand and talked to him, he's just real chill, down to earth kind of guy. So it was cool to meet him. Hookah John is always kind of like, oh my God, it's Hookah John. But Hookah John is up the street from us.
He's down the street.
And we've hung out with him, once or twice. And so but it's always cool to see like Hookah John because you're like, oh, it's freaking Hookah John. So, it's always cool to see him.
Right? I never get a chance to talk to him. He's always busy talking to someone more important, but it's always cool to see him from a distance, And Jake, I grew up watching Jake's videos. I learned so much from him when he had that first part of a Lion KM and watching him pack his bowls and stuff. So he's one of my inspirations for doing YouTube videos. So I remember when I was at the lounge last year, and I didn't really get a chance to talk to him at TBC last year. I was in the lounge of Starbuzz, and he was one of the only people there, so he was actually packing bowls. And so he came up to me and he was talking to me, and we got talking, and I was like, you don't understand. You're going to pack me a bowl. This is going to be like the best day of my life, And I remember that every single time. Jake Hookah Red packed me a unreleased flavor of Starbuzz, and I mean, they're just amazing,
Yeah, I still got starstruck. He recently liked my Instagram picture of my personal Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's freaking Jake! Jake liked my picture!
Or people who like it, well, Jake likes it, is worth like 100 people. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. He liked and commented. So I was like, I think I took a screenshot of that and showed everybody. I was like, dude, guess who liked and commented on my picture? Jake! Oh, shit!
Well, you one-up me and never commented on any of my stuff, so I should post a picture of you and maybe you'll like it and comment.
It wasn't me. It was my kid. So it's a picture of my kid. So that might pull his heartstrings right there.
They're probably a little cuter than you are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I guess you got to get started having some kids so you can post a picture for Jake. He's like, yeah, right. No, take your time when it comes to kids, bro. Take your time.
Bro. Yeah. Take your time. All they do
I'm
is
sadly
eat, sleep.
not a kid person, so I don't know if that's ever in my story, but we'll see.
For sure, man.
You guys all have kids?
Yeah. Almost.
I'm my wife's 6 months old. September she's due.
Oh, well, congratulations in advance.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to be a lifestyle change, right?
Yes. Just look at this guy.
Are you ever going to see them again?
I'm sorry?
Are you ever going to get to see them again?
Yeah. I got to.
He has to keep counting our money, man. That's our accountant right there.
Oh, there you go.
Cool, man. Well, I guess I want to ask you the main question I like to ask on podcasts. Regarding, I know you kind of asked us, what do we tell people if it's healthier, if it's not healthier? But I think I was getting into that question earlier regarding like you do your own research and it seems like you know what you're talking about. So as far as when somebody says hookah is really bad for you or tobacco is really bad for you, what research have you done that you found out that Zak himself, Strictly Shisha, knows about if, how bad is hookah for you or how good is hookah for you based on everything that you've already learned in your experience?
That's a tough question to answer and definitely very biased from my perspective, but straight up hookah is obviously not good for you at all. But I think, just like everything else in life, moderation is okay. And I feel like some of the brands that have come out these days are better quality than maybe in the past, the traditional brands especially. I saw one of your videos here. Didn't you lick the inside of the H2 tobacco container?
Yeah, that was this guy. It's
Yeah.
Basilio's told us we should. So.
The bar has been set for brands, and it wasn't that way 5 years ago. So, I mean, the ingredients that they're putting in there are food grade safe. I mean, the glycerin is more regulated now, especially with the e-cig market. It's becoming more regulated, so it's more acceptable now. I'm not going to say healthy. It's more, but I mean, the only thing I see really bad, obviously, is the nicotine and the tobacco itself. But I find the contents to be not high enough to make anyone addicted. I'm not addicted, and I smoked 8 bowls on Saturday. Sadly, probably the most I've smoked in a while. And I'm not addicted, so the nicotine is not good for you, but, I mean, if you're okay with it and you have the self-control not to smoke, then, I mean, that's fine. And the glycerin obviously is going to harden your lungs, but I have not seen any direct, and obviously it's just like anything else in life. You read, one day that eggs are bad for you, they're high for cholesterol. The next day you read, oh, they're okay for you in moderation. So I don't think we can actually know how bad hookah is going to be until 20 years from now someone develops an issue. But then again, there have been old school Arabs who've been smoking their whole life since they were 8 years old, overseas, and they're doing just fine. So I just tell people do it in moderation and, be smart about what you're going to smoke. Pick the brands that are regulated and are good quality, pick quality coals, and, just reduce everything, reduce all the risks that you can, Don't go to a lounge and smoke with coals because that's obviously terrible for you, And you see that when you get the headache. So, no, it's not good for you, but you make a conscious decision in life to do these things, and you got to take it from that.
Okay, for sure. Now I see you're sporting obviously your Trifecta shirt. Is that one of your favorite brands, or what's your go-to that you like to smoke?
I've never admitted this directly, but Trifecta is my favorite brand. Straight up, I absolutely love Trifecta. I first started smoking Trifecta before anyone even knew about it. I got my first sample of it in a Ziploc bag. I guess the owner of Trifecta saw a video and he's like, hey, seemed pretty cool. Can I share my tobacco with you? And I was like, of course. I'd be happy to try it out. And this was when King Mint recently became more available. And everyone loves King Mint. Back a couple years ago when it was really hard to find. And it was you were only allowed to buy one. He came out with twice the ice. And I smoked it. And I'm like, everything that I love about King Mint, Twice the Ice has it without those deep tobacco notes. And personally, I'm not someone who really enjoys the really bold tobacco flavoring. And Twice the Ice for me was just the most well-rounded smoke I ever had. So ever since that day, the owner and I have been, playing off each other, giving each other ideas. I test out his tobacco, and there's 1 or 2 flavors that I don't like. And they're not even that I don't like it. They just don't wow me. So everything I smoke by him, I love, and I sound like I'm lying, but have you guys smoked Trifecta?
Yeah, well, we've only tried
the
Morning Glory.
Glory.
So we got, I think,
What do you think?
we got.
I like it.
was
I
good.
like it a lot.
Tiramisu, kind-ish.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of tiramisu or chocolatey flavors, but it was a good smoke.
You should check out his melons, especially on the twist. The dark blend, it doesn't have a robust tobacco profile. Ones in here are crisp. The lemon is fresh and zesty. I actually really love to smoke it. And very seldom do I pack things that I actually want to smoke. And as crazy as that is, I'm always testing out a flavor or, developing something for, something else. So I very seldom just like pack a bowl down in the mood to smoke. But if I ever just get time and I'm just chilling and smoking and not worrying about tasting the profiles and something, I pack Trifecta and I love everything about it. I love other brands as well, but it's my go-to on my days off. Let's just do that.
Okay, awesome.
Nice. So it looks like we're going to be placing an order with Trifecta.
Yes, sir.
Do we use your discount code?
Yeah. I Hookah Enthusiast 10, HE10, or free 3 gets you like free shipping and stuff. So he has a bunch of codes. I personally don't have one, but he has a bunch of codes.
Okay, cool.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, any last thoughts, questions?
Yeah, like what's your you're an entrepreneur, right? Like so what's your go-to like book or audio to read that affected your life for the positive?
Yeah, who inspires you?
Who inspires you?
Book,
audio, personal development, or
person.
I am sadly not a very well-read man. I don't read a lot. I'm a big movie person, so I watch a lot of movies, but probably it's going to be sometimes my inspiration. Everyone in my life, basically, other than my mom, is in business. And I've seen my friends' parents and my parents and how they've struggled and they've grown up and, how motivated they are to succeed and the lessons that they've learned, whether that be in business or in relationships with people in business. And I've just taken that and learned and seen how, they appreciate everything that they have because at one point they didn't have anything. So that's really what motivated me that, today, thankfully my family is doing well, and they worked hard for it, but they still appreciate every single thing. They always want to give back. And I really noticed that growing up, Thankfully, like I said, we were okay growing up, but my family was always like, earn your own way. And I was like, you know what, this is y'all's money. I'm going to try, and work myself and earn my own way. So ever since 16, I've been working. My family's basically just been my motivation for, working hard and, getting the fruits of my labor, I guess.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'm going to show you some Gary V videos.
Yeah, I'm actually going to...
So you asked the question about a book or something like that. Is there something that you read in particular that inspired you?
There's a lot of books.
There's a lot of books that
I think my latest book I read that I enjoy the most is Ask Gary V, or Ask Gary V is one of my favorite books I've been reading lately, as of late, by Gary Vaynerchuk. I was going to send you one of his books. So I want to send you a book. So I'll get your address afterwards. I'll send you a book. And what size shirt do you wear? What size shirt do you wear?
Probably.
I'm sorry?
A large.
All right, we'll send you a t-shirt, a Bring the Fire t-shirt too as well.
I really wanted one, but I felt bad asking.
No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. We'll send you one as a gift. So I'll send you a Gary V book, a Gary Vaynerchuk book, and a t-shirt from Bring the Fire.
So make sure in a few weeks you ask me something about that book to make sure I read it, because I'm definitely going to read it if you recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna hold you to that.
We'll have a little chat, We can talk about the book then.
we actually have we have homework for you, and we also have homework for another YouTube reviewer,
Jay Nook.
Jay Nook, if you're watching, you better get your questions, your answers right when we question you.
10-page book report due tomorrow. Spark notes on this book? Like, no, just kidding.
I'm sorry?
I was joking. I said, do they have Spark notes on this book?
Oh, shit.
Like,
Cliff notes?
I'll send you some of the YouTube videos I watch, bro. I'm not a big reader either, but I do like to watch Gary V. He turned me on to that guy. I mean, really motivational and really just good business information and business sense, and it gets me pumped up. So I'll send you some of the clips you can check out.
Yeah, please definitely send me some of the links. My phone is always glued to my face. Whether I'm like shaving or like eating, like I'm always watching something to learn. So I would be very happy to see that if you please send it.
For sure.
Awesome.
Cool.
For sure, man.
Well, if you don't have any other questions, I don't know. You guys have any other?
I'm good.
Final words, Zach?
Any final word for your viewers?
What's coming up next?
For
Well, yeah. It's been a complete honor to talk to you guys tonight. I hope that we can interact more often. You guys are always welcome on my channel. I hope that we can get together another day. Maybe we can do a joint review, pick a flavor together, and work on it. I need to see y'all's perspective on something that I'm smoking. So I hope to work with you guys more in the future. I mean, and maybe hang out in Vegas one day. But I really appreciate you guys having me.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Zak.
Really thank you for your time, man. Really do appreciate you. And we know there's greater things to come, man. Seriously, you know, I love the way you just the way you speak. You know, you're very confident in what you say. You know, you're very uplifting. So I could definitely see, you know, you really make it coming about what your next projects, your goal. You know, I see goals in your mind. You know, and it seems like you're just on top of it. You know, from your ice cream to your hookah lounge. You know. You just keep going, man. Keep moving forward, you know. And we're gonna keep an eye out for you. You know, we're gonna keep picking up game from you. All right.
And not open, you guys gotta come out. All right. Like you guys said, if I'm in Atlanta, I'll show you a good time. And if hopefully I have a business open, then you guys are more than welcome to come.
Of course.
Ooh,
We'll be out there.
2 spots we gotta visit.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Have you guys done
You gotta let us know when the grand opening is for that hookah lounge. Definitely.
Have you guys been to Atlanta before?
What's that?
No, never been to Atlanta before.
Oh
No.
no, I'm not.
I think I just been to the airport. That's it. Airport.
Everyone says it's like the busiest airport, but you guys should come. The food scene is amazing in Atlanta. I mean, it's a pretty good city, and I've done some traveling up the East Coast, New York, and Texas and stuff like that. And I actually really like Atlanta, as crazy as that is. I mean, it's got a lot to offer. Maybe not the hookah scene, but other aspects, especially food. I love food, so the food scene in Atlanta is, amazing.
Cool. So you need to come along with me so you can screw Atlanta and come to California so you can say screw Atlanta. California's the place to be. I'm sold.
I'm worried about going to California. I'm never going to come back. So that's what I'm worried about.
You're going to say, bye-bye, family. I live in California now.
Yeah, we don't use quick lights, bro.
I'm like the minority in Atlanta, so it would be nice to go to a state where everyone appreciates the same thing. I feel like there's such a large population in California in general, people who are enthusiasts. Everyone that I talk to on a daily basis lives in California. So it'd be cool just to walk on the street and go to a good lounge randomly. Versus Atlanta, you got to drive 30 miles to find something good to smoke.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why you're gonna have your lounge, so you're gonna take over Atlanta.
Damn right.
One day, I got you guys.
Awesome.
And what's the name for the lounge?
The working name was Yard Bar because we have this really huge outdoor courtyard.
Yeah.
And there's lights strung up in the plans and an outdoor smoking area, which in the area that we're in, no one really has an outdoor area. And Georgia's really big on, sitting on that Sunday, eating brunch, drinking a mimosa in an outdoor setting. So I want to be like the first bar in that area to do it and the first hookah bar to have outdoor smoking in that area.
That's cool.
So
Awesome.
that's what I'm aiming for.
For sure. All right.
The other one thing I'll say is on my channel, I don't talk very much. I don't talk about myself at all. So this is probably the first time I've ever talked about myself. I might mention a few things like what I did that day, like in passing, but I'm not very open on my channel about myself. So this was a very different experience for me. And I thank you guys for encouraging me to talk because this is, like I said, the most I've ever spoke about myself. People know my name and that I went to the gym earlier that day, but they don't really know anything about me. So I really appreciate this, guys.
And we thank you for being open, man. And that's what it's all about. Being open, getting to know us and the world, the YouTube world, getting to know Zak. Because like you said, you don't talk a lot about yourself, but we want to know who Zak is.
Your fans want to know who Zak is.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's see what the feedback they get from this. They're like, that kid is whack. We're going to unsubscribe.
Nah, man.
All right, man.
For sure,
All right,
man.
Zak. Well, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your time. Have a great night. Get some snooze.
All right, Zak.
Bye, guys.
Later,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you, guys.
Deuces.
You have a
Good
great
talking
one.
to you, man.
All right, peace.